Folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We're bumping up on 9 o'clock. Okay, let's go through some things here. First of all, if you'd like to contact the show, 706-889-9700. You can contact the show anytime or text me anytime. And you can also email me, chief@fetchernews.com. Follow us on Twitter at FetcherNews. And let me just say this, okay? And follow at FetcherNews on Twitter and at FYNTV. Getting up to the top of the hour here, a couple things. Now, tonight at 7 o'clock, you need to find our Team FYN Sports, Team FYN Sports Facebook page. Tonight at 7 o'clock, we will be at Panther Playback. We'll have players, coaches, the Union Panther Playback Sports Show tonight at 7 o'clock on the Team FYN Sports Facebook page. Tuesday night, Pickens Power Half Hour. Wednesday night, Rebel Wrap-Up. And Thursday night, Gilmer Turf Talk. And man, did we cover a lot of football. And if you want to find out about Friday night's football games, you got to tune in at 10 o'clock this morning. Don't leave. At 10 o'clock this morning, instant replay with Dave Garner. 10 o'clock live, North Georgia's only live online sports show. Instant replay with Dave Garner. Now, I know what you're saying out there, especially some of you. Could you not have waited? Okay, could you not have waited? You're saying, is this the right time? And I dealt with my mother saying, okay, I dealt with my mother saying, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. And I struggled with that this morning. Was I going to be able to do this? And then I said, I did. I'm being redundant, but I kept saying to myself, can I hold on? Is it the right time? I mean, can I just wait? But then the more I listened to the media yesterday, the deep state media, try to convince me that this guy, and see, it's not me. It's not me. It is the unsuspecting mush minds out there that are absorbing this, okay, like a sugar, all right? You ever see that granulated sugar with just a little moisture added turn into mush, how it absorbs it? So as the media is sweetening the brains of these children out there in America to lead them to believe that the maverick, a conservative maverick, wanting you to believe that John McCain is what a conservative looks like. John McCain is what a free thinker looks like. John McCain is what somebody in politics used to be that voted for the right thing over, put politics, put party aside and did the right thing. And as I thought about what they were trying to and will try to do all week, I thought to myself, no, I have no choice. I have no choice. And then I was hearing a true American hero. You know, and I have lunch sometimes with some veterans that still have, you know, and their dads aren't 4-star admirals, and they didn't come back and was whisked away to Arizona to meet Cindy, soon to be Cindy McCain, who didn't dump the first wife that worked so hard to try to get POWs released. You know, what do they call it, shrapnel, and I've got friends that they deal with things. They're true American heroes every day, but they're not John McCain. So anyhow, as I continue to listen to this, then the thing that got me that said, nope, that's it, is the manipulation of the media trying to tell me that it wasn't all set up. Now, once again, another stain. Put up a picture of Richard Russell. Richard Russell, okay? Now, it wasn't long ago I was over on Amazon Prime, and I wasn't ordering anything. I was watching a movie. And in 2017, I just think it's always ironic, coincidental, okay? I do. I think some things are coincident, okay? But in 2017, it seems like it was just last year, I've always wondered why nobody attempted to make a movie about LBJ. I wonder why there was no good LBJ. I mean, you got Nixon movies and you've got Kennedy movies. You know, it goes on and on. But I was wondering why nobody really did an LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, the father of the Great Society, the Civil Rights Bill, LBJ. But they did. Last year, Woody Harrelson played LBJ. And I enjoyed the movie. I watched it. I enjoyed it. I would recommend that you watch it. But the movie betrays, it shows all the downside of LBJ, where LBJ loved to have meetings in the bathroom. No joke, okay. Foul mouth, intimidating, get in your face and yell at you meetings. But anyhow, it betrayed LBJ just last year as this great civil rights in a great society, but how he fought for civil rights in this country. Now, think about it. Go back and watch the movie. How LBJ fought for civil rights. And how LBJ was the eye-opening wake-up of the Democrat Party. It's where the Democrat Party, a switch went on. Think about it. And in the movie, the senator they portray as the lowest form of life because of his racial segregation and his fight against the Civil Rights Bill. You got to be careful with the total Civil Rights Bill. Not that I'm against it. Let's not get into that this morning. But Richard Russell is who they've taken to task, okay? Russell was a founder and leader of the conservative coalition that dominated Congress from 1937 to 1963, and his death was the most senior member of the Senate. He was for decades leader of the Southern opposition to civil rights. But like all of the other historical stains that the Democrats on this country, historical stains, slavery belongs to the Democrats. KKK belongs to the Democrats. Segregation belongs to the Democrats. Now, I, for one, don't believe we need to erase our history, and Democrats are rushing to erase history as fast as they can, okay, because it belongs to them. Now, you used to say, what is written in the history books? But we don't have history books anymore. All right? The children can Google if they want. But it's harder to find because all of the social media and the search engines know how to bury these things, okay? But they don't want your children knowing the history of the Democrat Party, and they're getting rid of it. And there's generations now, and the current generation, that if they can continue will not know anything, if they can help it, about the stain on America history being from Democrats. Richard Russell, President Pro Tem of the United States Senate, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriations. Now, at this time, he is 1969 to 1971. He is Chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriations. In 1969 to 1971, he's the President Pro Tem. He's the Chairman of the Senate Committee on Armed Forces from 1955 to 1969. Do you realize how many years a senator from Georgia, can you say Sam Nunn? How many years a senator from Georgia has been chair of the Senate Committee on Armed Services? Russell served as the chairman of the Senate Committee on Armed Services from 1955 to 1969. Okay. And before that, he actually is United States Senator in office, let's see, from 1933 to 1971, and then from 1931 to 1933, he was the governor of Georgia. That's right, governor of Georgia. And 1921 to 1931, a member of the House of Representatives in Georgia. So let's see, this guy started as a House of Representatives. Let me see, let's see what I have here. House of Representatives, 1921, Richard Russell started. And he went to the governor of Georgia, then he went to the United States Senate. Every single thing he did, okay, everything, he did as a Democrat. As a Democrat. And it's Richard Russell and LBJ is where the Democrats want to tear that ugly label off of them and try to get you to believe that they're not the ones that have a stain on history. Democrats. Now, they want to immediately, it was all set up, and this is the other reason, right? Is it too early? When you say, is it too early to come out and discuss John McCain? At first I thought so, but then after I've seen the hypocrisy on the left to come out yesterday, you know, don't you like, there's one city council that I will not mention by name, but there's one city council, every time I go to it, I watch members of the council discuss something that I can tell they're bad actors because it was rehearsed. I can tell that. I can tell, wait a minute, you guys are so bad, you think out here, I can't tell you rehearse these answers. That was yesterday. It was so bad. Jeff Flake wants to be the second to co-sponsor Chuck Schumer, Democrat, to co-sponsor Chuck Schumer's resolution to rename the Senate office building the John McCain Senate office building. A Democrat, John McCain. They want to erase Richard Russell's name off there and rename it. And they came out yesterday and the media had such an ill-rehearsed response. Already, lawmakers are calling to rename the Richard Russell Senate building. Richard Russell's Senate building. Huh. Now, here's the day I want to see is the statue of Richard Russell in the rotunda of the Senate office building. I want to see that tear down. You know how Silent Sam over in North Carolina or whatever, and all of the other, you know, racial, Democrat, racist statues that they've gone through and torn down, all of our history from the Civil War, everything, right? I want to see the Richard Russell statue in the rotunda of the Russell Senate office building. I want to see them carted away. Or will they do it in silence? When they rename it, will they carry the statue away in silence and you won't see it? And you won't know it? And the media won't tell you? There won't be a headline that says, today in the newly named John McCain Senate office building, federal workers removed the statue of Russell from the rotunda, Richard Russell. They won't tell you. But when that took place yesterday, I said, no, it's not too early. Because the Democrats, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, all of them, even Fox, will do everything they can to leave the impression, okay? Let me tell you something, and let me tell you why I'm upset in several different ways, and I'm sorry. Well, I'm not really, but John McCain. I remember when Ronald Reagan died in this country, okay? I still have like a 13 or 14 page insert from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution from that Sunday's. I still have it saved. That was just dedicated to Reagan. I still have that saved. I watched every minute of those days, laid in state, Rotunda, the Capitol Rotunda laid in state. I watched Margaret Thatcher. I watched Gorbachev. I watched all the leaders. I watched everybody come around that casket. I watched that long drive, okay, to Simi Valley, that long procession. I watched that Hearst procession make it up there. I watched that sunset over that funeral. I didn't miss 1 second. What I predict this week, because it started yesterday on the morning shows and Saturday night, they will attempt, the deep state media will attempt to make John McCain this week look bigger than Ronald Reagan. Take that, Republicans. That's what they will do. And you watch and see. Too soon? This is the man that delivered the dossier to the FBI from Steele, Christopher Steele. This guy's been in on it for years. And I apologize for this comment. I really do, because it is a little insensitive. It's a damn shame in the Senate the only way we can get term limits is for somebody to die. And just in this morning, breaking news. We understand there will be 2 Senate seats that may flip red in the upcoming election in Arizona. 2. Richard Russell, the building, the stain on America. Don't forget, Stacey Abrams wants to sandblast Stone Mountain clean off. What about Georgia? Let's ask Brian Kemp. Now, I know Stacey Abrams' answer. Stacey Abrams wants to sandblast, and maybe we need to ask Stacey Abrams, because I do have a good post this morning. Thank you for your post, all right? Let's see how fast the candidates in the Georgia governor's race. Wait a minute. This could be a setup. Why, Richard Russell's from Georgia. And they're trying to clean this racist. The media is helping out off the Senate building. But we have a governor's race in Georgia. And we may ask Brian Kemp what he thinks of Richard Russell and his racist background, being former governor of Georgia and his name being on what? Multiple buildings in Georgia. Why did this just come to me? Well, there's buildings, there's federal buildings downtown Atlanta that say Richard Russell Federal Building. Well, there's things in Georgia because he was I mean, oh my God, it just came to me. He's from Georgia. The media set it up all weekend what a racist he is. How he was against civil rights. How he led the way to segregate and stop civil rights. And he was a pro-segregation senator, former governor from Georgia. Why, if we change the name and we have this opportunity now, it may give Stacey Abrams to the moderate. No, I get it. They are going to tell voters that John McCain is what a real Republican is. So in November, you will think, no, I can't go for the other guy because the media told me John McCain was what a real conservative looked like. And he voted against Trump and he didn't like Trump. It's not too soon to pick up on what these people are trying to manipulate and sell you on any given day. I'm sorry. My sympathy to the family, just like Donald Trump said. Our prayers and thoughts to the family of John McCain this morning. But it's not too soon because you don't know what they're doing. They're going to make John McCain, the media, bigger than Ronald Reagan this week. They are going to go after Georgia with a vengeance. Stacey Abrams will say, I think John McCain was great. You'll be like, oh my God, she will. She'll come out with a John McCain statement because it puts Kemp in a box. And if Brian Kemp says, oh, I support John McCain, then you might have Republicans, let's see, like me. That's, hey, wait a minute there. And then, as Stacey Abrams says, I will take the lead of the bipartisan. Oh, my God, my heart, my heart, my heart. They'll start yelling bipartisan. Oh, my God, it's all a setup. So she'll say, I'm going to take the lead of our bipartisan Congress up there and thank them for the lead between Chuck Schumer and Republican Jeff Flake. Oh, my God, this will be one time he's a Republican from Arizona, where they renamed the Richard Russell Senate building John McCain. And I think we should remove this racist from John McCain should have taught us a lesson, and we need to remove this racist Richard Russell's name from anything and everything in Georgia, much like Stone Mountain. I wonder if they're up to something over there at the MSNBC team this morning. Wonder if, okay? Now, they had a hard time this morning. They did a layout. I took the pictures. I thought, you know what, I might not have time for this. But they did a whole spread of how many times John McCain was on Morning Joe. But they were having a difficult time. And I'll tell you why. Amanda, you know why this morning when they were on MSNBC and they were putting up pictures of John McCain being on Morning Joe, why they had such a difficult time finding the pictures they wanted to use? Do you know why they had that difficult time? Huh? Because nobody would recognize Minka. She kept changing faces. Yeah. Okay, folks, let me get serious for a second. If they change the Senate office building, the name on the Senate office building, from Richard Russell and remove the name to John McCain, will they remove the name from the FBI Fingerprint Center in Fairmount, West Virginia? Will they remove the name Robert Byrd? Will they take Robert Byrd's? Will West Virginia go through and change every damn thing that says Robert Byrd, every Robert Byrd element? I mean, if the Democrats really wanted to scrub this history, they should take a trip through West Virginia just like Joe Kennedy did right before the election of John, his son, when he spoke nicely to the sheriffs in West Virginia, asking them politely to see if they can get some votes for his son. FBI Fingerprint Center in Fairmount, West Virginia, named after the late great KKK, Ku Klux Klan, Grand Wizard, or whatever he was, Robert Byrd. Hey, just say it. It doesn't stop, folks. They won't stop. And it's not too early. I'm going to take another break. We're going to come back And I'm going to tell you, probably after I racked my brain over and over, the only thing that I could really come out this morning as a real positive with John McCain when I come back this morning. Take us a break.